dedicated to the grind and dedicated to you. That's why we do what we do. This is Power Grind Boxing. You heard? Punch the like button, punch the subscribe button. Let's get it popping. Jermell Charlo, undisputed 154-pound champion, believes that Gervonta Tank Davis is the face of boxing in this current era. Now, I was looking at an interview with Jermell Charlo, right? And he was really praising Gervonta Tank Davis. Salute to my peoples in Baltimore. He was calling Gervonta Tank Davis the face of boxing. You know what I'm saying? Now, Charlo, he was acknowledging that there was a massive debate that was surrounding the title of the face of boxing, which is often applied to Saul Canelo Alvarez, right? And it is not deniable that Canelo Alvarez has a lot of accomplishments and a lot of commercial success in the sport of boxing. But Jermell Charlo believes that Gervonta Tank Davis has emerged as the main event in the sport that we call boxing. Now, according to Jermell Charlo, Gervonta Tank Davis has basically conquered the new world of boxing because, you know, he's selling out every fight. He's performing very well. And Charlo was also just giving a gigantic salute to Gervonta Tank Davis for his hard work and his dedication. And, you know, of course, there's a lot of, I'm going to say negative things that's surrounding Gervonta Tank Davis at this time. But, you know, he was just basically saluting him and saying, look, man, this guy is really, really doing it. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up, because listen, if you know Jermell Charlo, then you already know that Jermell Charlo and Gervonta Tank Davis, they've had some issues back in the day. You got what I'm saying? And it was almost getting ready to get really violent. You know what I'm saying? And Gervonta Tank Davis, you know, he's a high-profile individual, and he's coming off a high-profile victory over Ryan Garcia. He fought him in April of 2023, and that fight generated a substantial amount of pay-per-view buys. You know what I'm saying? Like, those pay-per-view buys were in the millions. You know what I'm saying? Now, Gervonta Tank Davis is a super draw, and he's been headlining, I want to say, 5 or 6 consecutive pay-per-view cards. Now, right now, Gervonta Tank Davis, hold your head, my brother. He's serving a 3-month jail sentence for violating the terms of a house arrest following, I think, a hit and run in 2020. But Jermell Charlo had nothing but great things to say about Gervonta Tank Davis. I was massively surprised because he don't really rock with Tank like that. You know what I'm saying? But hey, he got to give credit where credit is due, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Now, Jermell Charlo, he last fought, I want to say, in May of 2022. And he stopped Brian Castano, man. Man, that was World War II. You know what I'm saying? He stopped him in the 10th round. But unfortunately, Jermell Charlo has been inactive. He's been on the sidelines because he broke his hand. Now, he's expected to defend his belts later this year against a top contender, Australia's son of Costa Tszyu. That's right, Tim Tszyu. And right now, Tim Tszyu, he's fighting. He's active. He just knocked out Tony Harrison. He just knocked out Ocampo in the first round. Look, this guy, he's fresher. He's younger. He's active. And Jermell Charlo has broke that hand down. You may not know about hand injuries. And if you don't know, hey, you know I did a couple of boxing glove reviews, so look for that on this channel. But listen, you may not know a lot about hand injuries, but I'm telling you, man, when you inactive and you're coming off a hand injury sometimes, and I'm going to say most of the time, you just aren't the same. You're just not the same. I'm telling you, man, these hand injuries, they will definitely sideline you. I broke my left hand and cracked this left knuckle. Never been the same. You know what I'm saying? Never been the same. It's just never been the same. That's just how it is. Even when it heals up, it's just not the same. You can feel something in there. It's messed up. Doctors told me they want to go in and shave down my bone because it's calcified. I'm like, what are you talking about? Man, sad face. So I don't know how Jermell Charlo is going to look when he comes back and defeats Tim Tszyu. But I expect him to come back harder and defend because he's the reigning and successfully defending undisputed champion of the world. You got what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. Look, man, shouts out to Jermell Charlo. Man, shouts out to Gervonta Tank Davis. Man, shouts out to Tim Tszyu. And man, shouts out to Costa Tszyu. Those are the individuals that I mentioned in this video, so I just got to shout them out. You know what I'm saying? They just on the grind, you know what I'm saying? And I advise you to do the same. You know, so just be on the grind because they are working and their work rate is really astonishing and respectable and commendable. Looking forward to a great outing when Jermell Charlo comes back. Really hoping that he comes back stronger, faster, quicker, angrier. You know what I'm saying? Because he got this giant chip on his shoulder, and I really like the fact that he got a chip on his shoulder because, hey, it just really powers him in that ring. We call him the Iron Man for a ring, for a real reason. You know what I'm saying? Because when he in that ring, hey, he get it popping. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah, my thoughts, I definitely think that Gervonta Tank Davis is the face of boxing. But I will say that I do believe that there are a lot of faces of boxing. Boxing is ran by a lot of different faces. And, you know, I like all these faces and I appreciate all of these faces. Man, shouts out to Canelo Alvarez because, hey, he still has done a phenomenal job in boxing. I don't view Canelo Alvarez as the face of boxing. However, Canelo Alvarez, he has I'm going to say a baked-in audience. You know, it doesn't matter who he fights because he just fought, I want to say, Ryder. He has a baked in. No matter who he fights, people are gonna buy because they represent and like the Canelo brand. You understand me? So it's not. I don't think that he's the face of boxing. I think he is the face of boxing for a certain group of people. You got me? That's just how it is. Those are my thoughts. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Look, man, shouts out to everybody who doing positive things. And listen, this is Power Grind Boxing, courtesy of Power Grind Sports, reminding you to stay on the grind. Punch the like button, hit the subscribe button. We trying to grow the channel. We out of here. We on the grind.